So Danny, we've worked together with you now for probably pushing 4 years. We obviously talk a lot about what works, what doesn't work quite so well, but I'm really kind of keen to get your take on the evolution of the ABM story in the SAP universe.
Sure. So, I think if you look back to the day we met, all those years ago, I had the charter of creating an industry ABM program for SAP globally. Not knowing what that was really going to look like, not knowing exactly what the shape was going to be, but knowing that I knew the process. I had taken certain courses and learned certain things, and I knew what I was looking for, but I wasn't finding it in the agencies I was looking at. I wasn't finding it in some of the, Martech was out there talking about ABM. Everybody was talking about ABM, but I was having a hard time figuring out who could I partner with to actually do it. And that was the day I met you and Alicia, right? I think my last comment to you guys, you had a slide that had all these words that described your agency. And the one word I said that was missing was serious.
Right.
And what I could tell was that you all were serious about account-based marketing. You weren't just an agency, you were an ABM-focused agency, and you knew how to do it, and you knew how to do it the way I had learned it, and how everybody should be practicing ABM, which is starting with the insight and starting with the seller and moving through the process. And that's the day I decided I was going to hire you guys. I told Alicia when I was walking out, I'm turning my life over to you all, and we became partners ever since then. And it's grown since then, right? We started with one industry, now we're at 6. We've got we've done probably over 500 different assets for different companies. We've done, just a huge amount of work, and we've got a huge amount of work still to do.
So I guess from our side, there have also been some learnings. I remember, for example, one of the things we do with you is we kind of build, if you like, a generic version of an asset, and we then customize that for a particular customer's needs, a particular seller's needs. I think we've learned a lot about how to do that, because I think initially, probably in year 1, we built the asset, and then doing the customization was extremely painful. But I think now we've become much smarter at starting from the kind of, if you like, from the get-go, thinking about how do we build an asset that can be customized further down the tracks, what parts of this can be customized, should be customized, need to be customized. So I think we've got a lot smarter, and hopefully you can see that in terms of the kind of the speed of delivery, and also actually hopefully getting it right first time. All those important things I think are part of the partnership you talked about.
Absolutely.
I think also the other thing is there is a lot of expertise, subject matter experts within SAP, and I think we've become much better at actually tapping into that. As you talked earlier on about collaboration, I think actually not trying to reinvent the wheel, but kind of absorbing what's out there and just pulling it together and giving that kind of ABM flavoring to it. I think is another learning for us as well.
And I think that part of what you talked about is creating a generic asset, but let's be clear that generic asset is based on a lot of insight that we've already gathered and we've already pulled together. And it's also based on the synergies in the account plans that then allow us a topic that we do create generically, but we know we're going to tailor it to specific accounts. But when we do that, and what's made it go so much faster, is it gives the seller something to look at, to work from, as opposed to trying to envision it in their head. It's already in a form that they can visualize, they can see how it's going to work, they see how the copy is going to flow into it, how it can be tailored for their account. And we've even gone so far as to, with an oil and gas company where most of them are offshore, one is only onshore, we actually changed that, we changed the scenery and things to make it really mimic and replicate or act like it is for that company, right?
On our side as the agency, in terms of how we face off to you, I think there are a couple of things that I think have really helped to move the partnership forward. One of them, which I think we have talked about, is you're really good at keeping sales engaged, having those multiple touch points with sales, so they feel they're really buying into this, and it becomes a kind of a collaborative exercise with sales rather than stuff that's pushed at them. I think that's really good. I think the second area is creativity, because you are you are personally very passionate about creativity, and that I think really excites our creative teams to kind of raise the bar higher. And I like the fact that if I look back over the work we've done since 2015, you can see, you know, there's a quantum leap forward in terms of the kind of creativity that's going into some of the assets that are being used. And I think that's testimony to the kind of power of the partnership between you and the guys here. So
absolutely, and part of it is, as we've grown together, SAP's grown, right? So we've made some leaps in our technology, as a company. Yeah. That's given us some really interesting, great things to talk about. Yeah. Not that we talk about our solutions, but the things that our solutions enable, we get to talk about, which are more futuristic type things, right? Yeah. Which allows us the ability to create some really cool things. Yeah. Yeah. I think that the ability to step back and let the creative people do what they do, and then have something really great to show sales that they are really excited to show their customer, it's a win-win all the way around. You guys get to flex your creative muscle, we get a really good product, and sales is really happy because they've got something great to talk to their customer about.
I mean, I think for us that's always a high point of the program, when we have that call with sales where they see the asset and you get people saying, wow, this is fantastic. That you know, obviously gets everyone in this building super excited, and
everyone in my office as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because if we know if sales is happy, that means they're going to use the solution. Yeah. And you know, it's been a build-up, right? It's as we've had them involved throughout the process. It's a build-up, and it still always is a surprise, and a pleasant surprise for them when they see the actual end asset, because you guys always deliver something that has been so interactive and so forward thinking, which is what we push for, right? Is forward thinking and outside the box a little bit. And that's been a great partnership for all of us.
Great.